Hey there, Mark Caniglio here. Welcome to this demonstration of how to get started with IzzyCast. So in the accompanying download, you will find two files. IzzyCast Basic Host, that's for the host who's going to create the IzzyCast session, and another patch called IzzyCast Basic Participant. That is for the one or more people that will join the IzzyCast session created by the host. So I'm going to step you through the process using these basic patches. These are just a demonstration of what's possible. They quickly allow you to get in, start an IzzyCast session, have some people join, and see what that's like. But the thing you have to remember is it looks like a little television studio. You'll see this example. But down underneath, all of the actors that are behind the scenes allow you, every video is an individual stream. You can control the audio level for each person individually. So these things, and the fact that you can send data. So these are the things you can do if you start building your own patches. But again, this is just to get you started to see what it's like, okay? So to do that, we're in the basic host patch here. Yeah, so it says welcome to IzzyCast. To create a session and invite others to join, click next. Okay, I'll do that. And now it's asking for my IzzyCast account key. This is it's like several letters long. You'll get this when you either purchase credits, IzzyCast credits, or if you take advantage of the opportunity to get 500 free credits because you've upgraded to Isadora 4. So I've already copied that, and I'm just going to click in the field and paste it. There we are. So now I have a valid IzzyCast account key. You can tell also that it's valid because it actually down here just changed and gave you an estimated number of days or time remaining. That's for one person in the session. Of course, as you add more people, it consumes the credits more quickly, so then that number will change as you add more. But right now, for one person, we would have more than 2 days of time remaining. Okay? So now I can hit next to go to the next step. I just have to name myself. I'm just going to leave it set to host, which is fine. And then I'm going to put in the session ID. Now, there's two ways you can do this. Either you can do it the default way, which it says here, which is a single use session ID. That means it's going to create this ID when you start the session. And again, the session ID is the thing you give to others to allow them to join the session. It's kind of like a meeting ID and video conferencing, this kind of thing. You also could choose to use a reserved ID. I'm not going to tell you how to do that here, but that's an important option because if you're having a rehearsal, you could give this out and just say, show up at this time and join the session. So you can have this session ID prepared in advance. So at this point, we've entered everything we need to kind of start the IzzyCast session or the information about IzzyCast. So when we say next, then we are presented with the choices about our video input, and audio output. So it should default to the normal internal webcam, internal microphone, and built-in speakers when you open the patch, but choose what you would like to have for the video input, the audio input, and the audio output. Right now it's all set just like I want, so that's great. And also, you could choose to kind of disable the video and microphone by clicking those buttons, but I'm going to leave those open, okay? So we're all set up to go now, and the button says Go to Session Manager. So there we are, and now we have the opportunity to create the session. Before I start this, I'm going to hit the mute button. See, I just muted the computer, and I'm doing that on the participant computer too. Why? Because for this demo, I've got two computers sitting right next to each other, yeah? And the possibility of audio feedback, that's something that could happen because they're so close. So just to make sure that doesn't happen, I've just muted the audio on both computers. Obviously, if the computers are in two different locations, you don't have to do that. All right. So we've entered all the information. We've chosen our video input, output devices, video input and the audio input and output devices. So let's go ahead and create the session. And we wait just a moment and voila. Hello, there's the host camera pointing at me. This is a 720p camera, so the resolution won't go above that. But again, we're using a Wi-Fi connection for this demo. So the thing is, we would definitely recommend use a wired Ethernet connection for the highest possible performance and best images and sound. Yeah, but for this demo, that's what I've got. So we're just using a Wi-Fi. Okay, so that's great. The session has begun. Here's the host. And now we're going to flip over and take a look at the participant patch. Ready? Boom. Okay, this is the participant patch, which hasn't been set up yet. It is saying, let's welcome to IzzyCast. To be guided through the process of joining a session, click next. So I do that. I'm just going to call myself Mark. Okay, that's going to be my name in the session. And then the session ID that was created. Let's go back. Wait, let's go back to the host patch. Host. Boom, there's the host patch. See the session ID here? That was created when I created the session. And it says even here, share the session ID below with all participants that will join the session. So I'm just copying that actually. And now back to the participant patch. Boom, participant patch, here we are. And I'm pasting that into the session ID, this 10-digit number. Great. So now I go like this, and to go to the next screen, and I have the same setup for the camera, the microphone, and the speakers. Gonna just leave that set as it is, it's perfect. And then I go to the session manager and I am ready to join the session. So if I click join session, voila, there we are. There's the participant camera, hi. Here's the host camera, hi. So now we've got a connection between the two computers, right? And that's it. You've now created an IzzyCast session. If you had more people that you wanted to join, you could give them the session ID and more of them would appear in the user interface here. But now, just to show you a really simple example, I just showed the stage. I should probably do that manually. So here, show stages. There it is. There's the preview. If you had a video projector, that would be going out to the video projector. And notice that it says standby below each of the people in the session. If I click that, it changes to live, and now there I am. Hi, I'm in the preview. But if I click the other one, it makes room, and now we have two images. And in fact, so like I said earlier, it's a little bit like a kind of a simple television studio setup. If you want to see what that would be like with more people, you can turn on test mode, and it gives you up to 6 examples here. You see it says it just has these words 3, 4, but now I can actually play with this and see how these are going in and out by making them live or on standby, etc. So that's the test mode. But the main thing you need to remember here is that, let me put myself live. The main thing you need to remember is that underneath the hood, every video output is separate. As you can see up here in the user interface, we have volume controls for both of the people. You can control the volume of each person in the meeting separately. You can even do audio routing, which is a separate option I'm not going to cover today, but that's another possibility. Okay? So that's us in the session, but just to demonstrate one other small thing, I am going to leave the session on the participant patch. So I click the leave session button and say yes. Okay, I'm out. Now let's go back to the host patch. Here we are. Boom, host patch. You'll see that there's just one person left in the session, right? Okay, cool. But if we go back now to the participant patch, here we are, participant patch, and I change this toggle here, and it says send Isadora video. There's a little video that's just a demonstration being generated inside the patch. And if I click the join session button, you'll see that that video is now being sent in instead of the camera, right? And if we go back to the host patch, let's go host, boom, here's the host. You see that that's coming in on the other side. All right. Again, the resolution's a little low because we're using Wi-Fi, but of this video coming in. But the point is, not only can you send what's coming from the camera, you can send what's coming from inside of Isadora itself. Yeah. Okay. So then, when we're ready to end everything, you could have the participant leave, which I did just a moment ago by clicking the leave session button, but also the host can just say end session for all, and it asks you, are you sure you want to do that? Because it's going to kick everybody out. And you say yes. And that brings our first IzzyCast session to an end. Okay, so that's it. That's how you use these demo patches to quickly just create an IzzyCast session, invite a few people in and see what it's like. And then make sure, though, for those of you who are Isadora programmers, look inside these patches because, I mean, it's quite a complicated patch. But you can see how the IzzyCast actors are being used to send video into the session and bring video in from the other participants, and thinking about how you can put that to use with projection mapping and all kinds of other things that Isadora can do. That is the power of IzzyCast. So I hope this will help you try your first IzzyCast session. Have fun.